I don't have millions of dollars in the bank, but if I had millions of dollars in the bank and tomorrow I got unbelievably sick and I was on my deathbed, what I probably would not say is, I really wish I would have just worked a little bit more and made a little bit more money. I'd probably be saying, I wish I would have spent more time with my family. I wish I would have spent more time with friends. I wish I would have served more at my church. I wish I would have impacted more people. All the things that you'd probably say if you knew you had no time left on this earth would not be related whatsoever to the work that you do. You would have regrets that you didn't do more with somebody or something in your life, and it wouldn't be, I just feel like I didn't work enough. Chances are at one time or another you've heard someone say to you, remember, money doesn't buy happiness. And you might have said to yourself, yeah, I know, I've heard that before. But internally, you didn't really believe it. Not only have I now realized that's unbelievably true, but I've started to think a little differently in terms of what that means and how to actually think about putting that belief into practice. Anytime the start of a new year happens, there's all these thoughts that go through your head. Perhaps you're a person that's saying to yourself, well, I just want to be able to replace my full-time day job with my side hustle and make the same amount of money. And as long as I make the same amount of money I was making in my full-time job, then I'll be fine and I won't need to work anymore. Maybe your side hustle is already your full-time job and you're saying to yourself, if I could just get my weekly income or my monthly income to this amount of money, well, then I can just take a little bit of a break and stop growing and stop making more money. You see, when I was deciding to make the decision to go from being a full-time worker with health insurance and a salary to basically doing my own thing and pursuing my side hustle, video production, and making that my full-time job, to me, there was a simple solution that I had to solve. I had to be able to make as much money with my side hustle as I was making with my full-time job, and then I was good to go. Now, I worked my butt off for so many years, working 60, 70, 80 hours a week just to be able to get to that point, and I eventually got to that point and decided I can now make the transition and I can leave my full-time job and work for myself. Today is day one. I woke up and I don't have to go to a job. This is so exciting. That all seemed great, and honestly, it was pretty easy to make the amount of money that I was making full-time doing my own thing. Honestly, and if you're watching this video, it's not that hard to actually build a side hustle to make a decent salary that can probably pay for all you need to pay for and replace your day job. I'm just being honest. That's not where the problem is, though. The problem is actually stopping when you get there. You've potentially seen this played out in so many different ways in your own life. Let's say you just start a brand new Instagram account and you say, I just want to get 1,000 followers. And then you get 1,000 followers. And do you stop? No, because it feels pretty good to have that 1,000 followers and you're saying to yourself, I can get a little bit more. I just want to get to 5,000 followers. Maybe you're doing a YouTube channel. I just want to get a video that does 100 views. Great, until you get 100 views, and then you now have set a new level of where you want to get to. You start golfing. I just want to break 100. Then you shoot a 97, and it feels really good to shoot a 97, so you play a little more, and you eventually want to break 90 and 80. Whatever it is, this applies to all aspects of how just kind of a human brain feels like it's wired. Money is really no different whatsoever, and I promise you that. So when I hear the term, money can't buy you happiness, I can't stress how much I now believe in that. Anyone who tells you that it's not fun and nice to be able to buy things that you used to not be able to buy or afford things you couldn't afford and not really have to worry about it is lying. It feels good to not stress about money. What happens over time, and this is not true for all people, but it's true for most, as you make more money, you buy more things, and as you buy more things, you need to make more money. And when you make more money, you buy more things, and the lifestyle moves with the money you are making. When you're not smart with money, you then get yourself in big trouble because now your requirements for living are significantly higher than they were when you just told yourself you needed to make a certain amount of money and you'd be fine and you'd quit. If I looked at the money that I made 3 years ago and you were to tell me 7 years ago when I quit my full-time job, if you were to make this amount of money, would you be totally content and be able to just take vacations and enjoy yourself and not really have to work 60, 70 hours a week? Of course. I'd say, yeah. I mean, that would be so much more money than I'm making now, and I'd be able to have all the freedom in the world. I would barely have to work. But then you get to that point and you're still working. When does it stop? What amount of money is enough for you to actually enjoy life and spend time with family and spend time with friends and not overstress about working nonstop? What amount of money gets you to that point? I think a lot of people have this number in their head that they think when they have a certain amount of money, their worries will go away. Money is not, will not, and has never truly solved your problems. Money can't buy you happiness. It can only buy you things. And things don't really make you happy. There are two ways to be rich in life. It's either to make a ton of money or to have very low overhead so that you don't need a lot of it. You feel equally rich in both of those things. And maybe it's a mindset thing. You know, you've heard financial freedom. You just want to have financial freedom. Maybe it's like priority freedom. If you had all the money in the world, what would you do with that money? That's actually what tells you where your priorities actually are. It's really all about contentment in life, and where do you find your contentment? You see this all the time with YouTubers who eventually reach this massive plateau of subscribers that you look at and say, man, it would be unbelievable to just have 10 million subscribers or 5 million subscribers or 1 million subscribers. Then you see all these people on YouTube talk about they're just bored or they're burnt out and they don't necessarily feel like doing YouTube anymore in general, when all they dreamed about when they were building probably that YouTube channel or that business was to get to a certain plateau, only to quickly find out that it only feels good for a short amount of time. That dopamine wears off very quickly and you need to reach another plateau, and that plateau will never ever get smaller. You've made a new standard of where it has to be, and nothing below that is okay. The only thing you can do is keep going up. Now, please hear me out. I am not saying there's anything wrong with making a lot of money. And I, in fact, applaud people who work extremely hard, build successful businesses, and make millions and millions and billions of dollars. I think it's incredible, and I think there's nothing wrong with that. I love how Gary Vee always talks about one of the best things that you can do is go to a nursing home and talk to people who are at the end stages of their life. The reason he says that is because when you talk to most of those people, they have a ton of regrets. And the regrets are never about that they wish they worked harder or made more money. It's always about life. I wish I spent more time doing this. I wish I decided to just skydive like I always said I was going to do. I wish I decided to just do this or spend time with this person or make an impact on people. It's never about work. It's never about making more money. The regrets are always about decisions that you just didn't make, that you probably could have made when you didn't have any money at all. This year, or maybe whenever you're watching this, I challenge you to continuously think in your head, what am I trying to make money for? Because I promise you, if you put a number in your head that says, when I get to this amount of money, I'll stop. I'll just calm down. I'll enjoy life more. I guarantee you, you will not stop. If you really want to spend more time with your family, then spend more time with your family. If you really want to work less, then work less. If you die tomorrow, the job that you're currently getting paid from is going to replace you in a heartbeat. There's more to life than making money. Money does not, will not, has never equaled happiness. There's so much more to life. Enjoy it a little bit. Pursue the things you want to pursue. Don't have regrets.